Okay, we got as much done yesterday as we could. We were exhausted and it got a little bit too dark in here to start on the ceiling. Like I said before, we have no overhead light in here right now. That's kind of what we're adding with all these can lights, because before there was a few fluorescent lights here, but we had to take those down to rewire all that. And in the room behind the camera here, there was no lights. So all we're working off of is my little DeWalt light and a few lamps that were left here at the home. So it really wasn't bright enough. Plus it started to storm last night, so it got darker even quicker. We couldn't really see what we were doing. So we decided to wait till this morning, and the rain has stopped. So you can see behind me, we've got some light flooding the room, which will make this a little bit easier. We're gonna start adding this distressed ceiling over here in this corner and just kind of work our way across the room, and then we'll kind of go up this vaulted ceiling as we go. It's got a tongue and groove system that'll lock together. So we're gonna kind of lock them together each time going up. And I know some people may ream me in the comments for this, but I'm not taking down the drywall before I do this for a couple reasons. One, we're on a real time crunch here to get this done, and I don't really have the extra time to remove all that. And two, I don't wanna have to re-insulate up here. And I'm pretty sure if I pull this drywall down, all the insulation is gonna come down with it. There is a little vapor barrier that I've seen as I was cutting out some of the can lights, but I don't know that it would hold this once the drywall came down. So I don't wanna risk that. So we're gonna go right over the drywall with this tongue and groove ceiling. Almost stepped off the end of that. Nails.
What?
Nails.
No. There are people doing
Don't forget all the lovely things we plan to do today.
He is our generation super genius. He's our generation's radical, transformative super genius.
This is the end.
What nonsense, darling.
I've got the shiplap ceiling pretty much done now. The only thing that's left is this little gap here on the kitchen side, and I have to rip those down on the table saw to fit them in, but I'm gonna wait and do that because I have to move all this furniture and stuff again anyway before I can get it in there, because I can't get a ladder in this room right now. All this was in this room and we had to move it over here so we could put this ceiling up. But we stayed up late last night and we got this one done, and I've started kind of putting my strips on that the beams will attach to. We're just gonna do a faux beam on both of these seams, in here and in the kitchen. But now that I got the ceiling up, I can go ahead and put in my can lights that I cut out for. I've already got these in the kitchen, and there was already wiring there for those, whereas these, there wasn't any overhead lights in this room. I had to cut into this wall. There's a switch here, and it only ran this outlet down here, which would have operated the lamps that were in the room. But I opened up that wall, and I've done some rewiring, so these outlets will just stay on all the time now, so you can turn the lamp on and off with the switch that's on the lamp. And I'm going to use that switch that they had that operated the lamps before to operate these lights in the ceiling. So now it's just putting the lights back in the ceiling and putting the wall back together. Unfortunately, I did keep the piece to repair this. It's behind this couch. If you've seen some of our previous videos, you may have seen us use these lights before. They're a canless can light, I guess. They're this slim design, and it looks just like a recessed can light, but there's no can to it. It just has these little clips, and you just hold these up, and when you place it through your opening in the ceiling, they come down and they hold against the drywall, or in our case, the shiplap ceiling, and they hold the light flush tight against the ceiling. They come with a switch on here that changes the color of the light, and like I said in a previous video, it's not actually like a color of the rainbow color, it's just how bright the light is. They go from like cool tones to warmer tones, you know, more of a sunlight look or a cool, like a fluorescent light look, and your level of brightness. Since there's so many of these, I just set them to the lowest light setting, and that's what's in this room here. You can see they're pretty bright. But if the homeowners decided it wasn't bright enough, it's not a big deal just to slide these down, because all it's holding is these clips. You can pull them straight down and change the switch. But with this many lights, I just didn't want it to be overly bright in here. But we like these because they're easy to put in and they're super affordable. And if you want to check them out for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can find them.